Hi, welcome to Lynn's Recipes. Today I'm going to make a banana bread crumb cake. The amounts of the ingredients that you're going to need to make this cake will be listed in the information box below, or you can find it on the website or the Roku channel. The ingredients for the cake are 3 ripe bananas, sugar, salt, baking powder, all-purpose flour, softened butter, milk, vanilla extract, and eggs. For the crumb filling and topping, you're going to need some cold butter that you've cubed, brown sugar, and all-purpose flour. For the glaze, you'll need powdered sugar and milk. You need to preheat your oven to 350 degrees, and you'll need to spray a 9x13 baking dish with cooking spray. In this medium mixing bowl, I'm going to start by adding my flour and my baking powder and salt. And I'm just going to whisk this all together until it's incorporated. And now I'm just going to set this aside and move on. I've already peeled my bananas and put them in this bowl, and so what I'm going to do now is take my masher here. You can do this with a fork if you want, and just mash these until they're almost liquid. Now, if you want to, like I said, you could use forks to do this. I find it much easier to use a potato masher. It's faster, and it just seems to work a little better for me, but you can do it whichever way you want, so long as they get mashed. Okay, so this is all mashed good. I'm going to put my butter in, and we are just going to mash this all around until it's well incorporated. Now I'm ready to pour in my sugar and my eggs, my vanilla, and I'm just going to mix this all together. Now I'm going to pour my milk in and my flour mixture. And I'm just going to continue stirring until it's all mixed together. My batter's all done, so I'm going to set this aside, and we're going to make the filling and the topping. For the filling topping, I've got my cold butter here that I'm going to put in this bowl. I'm going to add my brown sugar and my flour. And I have a pastry cutter. I'm just going to start cutting the butter and the sugar and flour together with the pastry cutter. And if you don't have a pastry cutter, or you prefer, you can use a fork or 2 forks. So I'm just going to continue on until this is all nicely mixed together and crumbly. My filling and topping is all ready, and now I'm ready to put it in my cake pan. What I'm going to do is take my prepared pan and pour half of my cake batter in. I'm going to put 1/3 of the filling topping, and then I'm going to put the rest of the cake batter on top of that, and then finish up with the rest of the topping. So now we're going to start by putting this in the pan. Like I said. Okay, so I've put half of the cake batter in. And now I'm going to just kind of figure out 1/3 just by looking of this filling in between. Basically just cover the batter. And I'm going to pour the rest of the batter on top of that. Get it all out of there. Just kind of spread it out the best I can. And I'm going to finish up by covering it with the rest of this topping. This is ready to go into the oven. I'm going to put this in the oven that's been preheated to 350 degrees for 50 to 55 minutes until the middle is set and a toothpick or a cake tester comes out clean. I just took my cake out of the oven. It cooked for 60 minutes. It took an extra 5 minutes than I told you. I've taken a cake tester and put it in the middle, and it came out clean. I'm going to let this cake cool on this cooling rack for about 10 minutes, and in the meantime I'm going to make the glaze. Now the glaze is optional, you don't have to do it if you don't want to, but I'm going to go ahead and make it and put it on the cake. I have a large measuring cup here, and what I'm going to do is put my powdered sugar in this measuring cup. I have about 4 tablespoons of milk in this cup, and I don't know that I'm going to use it all, but I'm going to start with about 1 tablespoon, and then we'll just see how much I need to get the right consistency. So I poured some in, and I'm just going to take this whisk and just start mixing this together till it's smooth. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit more in here just to make it a little bit thinner. Just kind of have to play with it and see what kind of consistency you want as far as how it's going to spread or pour. And I think that looks pretty good, so I think I'll stop right there. My cake is cooled for a few minutes, and now I'm ready to put the glaze on. So I'm going to start just drizzling it on from the measuring cup. It's nice to make glazes in these measuring cups with spouts. That way you can just use the spout and drizzle it all over, and it doesn't make a mess. Get it all out of there. And it doesn't have to cover every little part of the cake. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is cut a piece and show you what it looks like. I'm going to cut just a little piece of this and put it on a plate to show you. So I'm just going to kind of go around and then cut in with my knife. Get it out with the spatula. And there it is. This is banana bread crumb cake. I hope you enjoy it.